everyone, how are you? Happy Wednesday. I am so excited to be doing my last Facebook Live in this office. I hope you can hear me okay. Please let me know. We have a new setup here with a new microphone and a new light. But today we are going to be going through how to set up your Simplified planner so that you are ready to go for our August 1st start date. If you have an academic edition, then your planner is going to begin on August 1st. And if you are watching this later this year and you have a calendar year edition, then your planner is going to begin on January 1st, and all of this still applies. We usually do the setup workshop in the summertime because if we were to do it for the calendar year editions, it would be like right smack on Christmas Day. So we're going to spare you from that. Hi, friends. We're also, this new Facebook setup is really cool and totally different than what I've ever seen before in the past. So I can see all of your comments so easily. Okay, if you have absolutely any questions, please post them here. My team is going to be grabbing them and trying to answer them as you write them, but I'm also going to be grabbing them and going over them at the very end. So today we're going to talk through a couple things. First, we're going to talk through what to do. Like, you have this beautiful, amazing new planner and you're probably feeling like, I don't want to write in it because I'm going to mess it up and my handwriting's yucky, and like, what if I need to like scratch something out? We're going to talk about how to deal with those feelings. We are also going to talk through the Simplified prep work, which is a new feature in the very front of all of our Simplified planners. And then we're also going to talk through just the tactical part of getting your planner ready to go. We have a friend who has used a Simplified planner for a long time. Her name's Jen McIntosh. If you're watching, Jen, hello. I was thinking about you this morning because I've seen that you call it moving into your planner, and I love that. So we're going to talk about how to move in and get ready so you're ready to hit the ground running. Last thing we're going to do today before Q&A is we're going to talk through some tips we got from many of our users. So if you follow us on Instagram, you saw that yesterday we asked for some tips from different types of women. So women in different seasons of life, women who, lead a certain lifestyle, or some women who are in college who maybe don't have kids, some who are empty nesters whose kids have flown the coop and are out in the world, women who, are working outside the home, women who are working in the home, and then also women who use their planners for fitness, because I personally in the last 2 years have really gotten into doing that with my own planner, just taking care of my health in a better way and using my Simplified planner to do that. So if you're watching this and you don't yet have a Simplified planner, we are recording this on July 18th. And as of right this minute, we have one academic year edition remaining, and that is the Mint Pineapple, which one? Daily? Mint Pineapple Daily. Do you guys have one over there? Sorry, of course it's on the very bottom. Dusty and Hannah are in the office with me. So this is the one we have remaining. I will tell you there are just a few hundred of them left, and they will go very quickly. We get this question a lot, why don't you restock? Why don't you order more, and that kind of thing. The most difficult part of my job is predicting inventory. We try every year to plan for what the demand's going to be based on growth from last year and crunch all these numbers and try to get it right. And sometimes we do, sometimes we overprint, sometimes we underprint. But this year, I think we're going to get real close to August 1st and sell out right around then. We don't restock because we are a debt-free company. I started this company 10 years ago, and it was very important to my husband and I at the time to start it with absolutely nothing. So we started it from nothing, and we just have never gone into debt for it. And that's really important to us. We're big Dave Ramsey fans. So we try to get it right out the gate. We don't restock. And so if you are interested in getting an academic year edition, we have these available on our site. There's a link in the caption, wherever it is. And then on September 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we'll be launching our calendar year editions. And that's where you can get the daily edition or the weekly edition in the 6 cover formats that you saw for our May launch that are, the academic year ones. And those are going to be dated January 2019 through December 2019. Okay, who's ready to get started? First things first, a planner will not change your life. True story. If you bought the Simplified planner with the hopes that it will miraculously sit on your shelf and emit magical powers and transform your life, I am sorry to say it will not do that. I think a lot of times we buy organizational tools with the hopes that if we have this thing, it's going to automatically make us organized and streamlined and more peaceful and more calm. But the truth is, and I always like to tell this story about shoes, a lot of times it's not our lack of the perfect planner. It's other things that need to be addressed. And that's why we added the simplified prep work in the beginning of our planners this year. And it's also why we do a lot of videos like this, because I think a lot of times we have to take a step back, evaluate our lives, make some changes, and then dive into a new year. So the shoe story. Imagine you have, 17 pairs of flip-flops, right? I live in Florida. We have a lot of flip-flops. So you have 17 pairs of flip-flops and you're like, I need the perfect shoe organizer. So I'm going to go to the Container Store, which is like completely and totally overwhelming if you don't go there with a plan, by the way. But you go there and you're like, I need a shoe organizer to organize my shoes. So you buy this, expensive shoe organizer, and then you go home and you organize all your flip-flops onto the shoe organizer. And the next day it's a big mess again, right? Because your problem is not the lack of the perfect organizer. The problem is that you have 17 pairs of flip-flops, right? So what we're going to talk through today is the reason why we created the Simplified Planner, and that is to give you a starting point, a fresh start, for you to take its open white space pages and sit down and really have some time to yourself to look at life and say, like, what's working? What's not working? Where are things overwhelming? Where is my life bursting at the seams? I made this planner not because I am an organizational guru or because I have it all figured out or because my life is perfectly calm. If you ever spent a minute in my house, you would really laugh at that because it's wild over here. I have a 7-year-old, I have 2 3.5-year-olds. I work, my husband works. There's just a lot of things going on. And I think taking these breaks like we're doing right now to sit back and evaluate and ask yourself some hard questions and then put some routines and systems into place, it is absolutely life-changing. And that's what the Simplified Planner is all about. We don't give you on the pages a bunch of boxes to check and things to fill out and water intake to monitor and whatever. Those things are more opportunities to fail. If you are using the Simplified Planner, I want you to know that it was designed to give you a fresh start. So give yourself the opportunity right now to take a deep breath and know that a new year is ahead of you. August 1st is just a couple of days away. And I hope that you'll give yourself the opportunity to let this be your tool while you start fresh. Okay? I see lots of questions. So if you have questions, the comment thing on my screen is going pretty quick, so I can't keep up with them, but my team's grabbing them and I'll try to get to absolutely as many as possible at the very end. And also, before we dive in, launch week, before our fall launch on September 5th, that entire week leading up to it, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live every single day. And I'm also going to be doing an Instagram Live every single day that's just a Q&A. So if we miss anything here, if you still have additional questions, I really hope you'll join us. We're going to be doing a big pen test. We're going to be talking about tricks for color coding, all sorts of fun stuff. Okay, if you will join me in opening up your brand new Simplified Planner, you can either do this with me as we talk today or carve out some time to do this later. I always suggest carving out a couple of hours, an hour or two, however much time you can spare. I prefer if I have like a place that's quiet. So a lot of times I'll wait until my kids are asleep and I have like a nice cup of coffee. Yes, I drink coffee at night. A nice cup of coffee and like some quiet time where I can sit down and really think through these things. So mark off some time in your planner so that you have some time to really think through. Write your name on the first page. This isn't rocket science, but we're going to do every little step, okay? Write your name on the first page. If you were to leave your planner somewhere, you'll be really glad you did that. Maybe put your phone number or your email address in there. Next thing, flip to a couple pages later. We have the process of simplifying right here, and then how to use your Simplified Planner. The process of simplifying is basically just 4 simple little steps for you to kind of think through before you dive in. Number 1, name what matters. Figure it out. Decide what it is in your life that you will be unapologetically protective of. For me, that's my family. Everything comes after that. I always choose my family first because I know at the end of the day, I'll never regret it. Your answer might be completely different than mine. It might be what matters most to you is graduating this year, or what matters most to you is loving on your grandbabies, or whatever it is to you, whatever that is that matters most to you, write it down somewhere. Number 2, eliminate distractions. We're going to talk through a lot of this stuff, but eliminating physical clutter in your home, in your space, eliminating distractions on your calendar. You know, do you have commitments that you are tied to that maybe you could say not right now to? Eliminating those distractions creates margin in your life so that you can then pour more of yourself into the things that are most important. Number 3, establish routines. We're big about routines and structure in our house because we have 3 very large personality children who are involved in lots of things, and we have lots of stuff going on as a family. So having loose and flexible routines are super, super, super important to us. We're going to talk through a lot of routines as well. And the number 4, choose what matters. So I'm just going to read you this quick paragraph here. This is the trick to simplifying. You have a choice for how you will spend the next year. You can say yes to commitments and opportunities, or you can say no. You get to say no. You get to make those decisions for the majority of those things. You can say yes to heading that project, but realize it means saying no to something else. You can say yes when your inbox is overflowing and your toddler is pulling at your pant leg, or you can say not now. Refer back to what matters most and make choices to make those memories happen. You'll be filling the next 12 months with memories, not just tasks and appointments, so choose wisely. I think having this time to sit down and really think through your intention for the next year. A lot of times we talk about January 1st as being this like magical time where we can, you know, set new goals and set new intentions and choose our word for the year and make these changes and resolutions. But now's a great time too. And so especially moving into back to school time, if you have kids that are school age like me, it's a time where we're coming out of the summer where things have been wild and crazy and all over the place into a time where we need more routine and structure. So how can we make those decisions to better serve our kids, our families in that way? Then on the next page, you just have some tactical information about how to use your Simplified planner. Getting it set up, do your prep work, thinking through these next few pages, adding in birthdays and anniversaries. We're going to cover all this in a minute. Adding reminders. So like if mom's birthday is July 1st, adding a reminder a couple weeks before that to get a birthday card or get a birthday gift. Make time and get messy. So make time and don't be afraid to really dive into these pages and make them your own. And then lastly, caring for your Simplified planner. Magic eraser is your friend. So if you were to get something on the cover or like whatever, a magic eraser is awesome. So is just like a damp cloth. Just wipe it off. It wipes off beautifully. It has a really great coating on it as well. If you have a child like mine that likes crayons and wants to come and color on your pages, don't worry about it. The good news is every day, every time you flip the page, you get a clean start, okay? And by the way, we love seeing those pictures on Instagram, so share them. Okay, next you have your entire 2018 and 2019 calendars, and then the list of holidays. And then here is the prep work. So please turn. We should start numbering these pages so that when we do this, I can tell people where to go. Simplified prep work, you're going to turn to the page that says looking back, okay? So to give yourself a fresh start, we're going to take inventory of last year. So I know we're talking about this in July, but look back over the last school year. If you're starting this on the school year, whether you're a student or you're a mom of school-age kids, look back over the last 12 months and think about what worked. Did you have routines or habits or things that you did regularly, decisions you made that you felt good about, you felt proud of, things that made your morning run smoother? I'll tell you some of ours. And there are other things that didn't work last year. Did you overload your schedule? Did you commit to too many things? Hi, that's my life. I'm a consummate yeser. So like if someone asks me for something, especially as a favor, always want to say yes. And I've had to get pretty good, especially as I had some health issues the last couple of years with my thyroid and just stress kind of messing with me. I've had to learn how to say no and be confident in that. One time, one person I said no to in the last year, she was so sweet. I felt very bad about saying no. And I actually called her to tell her no, because it was an email thing, and she was asking me to do this big project for her. And I called her and I said, I feel terrible. Like, I want to say yes, that I can do this, but I can't. My bandwidth is completely extended at this point. And I know I'm not going to be able to give this project the love and attention it deserves. And she was so sweet, and she was like, I totally get it. Like, thanks for calling me and all this. And if we can work together in the future, I'll let you know. And the last thing she said was, be confident when you say no. Like, no is a complete sentence. No, period. That's it. It's a complete sentence. You have permission to say no to things, right? Obviously, I don't want to like undervalue commitments like work or obvious things we have to do. But there are so many things that we commit, not just our time to, but we commit our brain space to, right? So think through some of those things. What worked for you last year? For our family, and this, y'all, these are so elementary and tactical, but I promise you, if you put them into play in your life, they can make a big difference. Our morning routine last year was really good. I work from home, and my husband works outside of our house. And so when he would leave in the morning, the way we did our morning routine is I would wake up and get our oldest ready. Well, I would get ready first, and then I would get our oldest ready. And then as soon as he was ready and having breakfast, I would go get the little ones and bring them downstairs, get them ready. Actually, I would get them ready in their rooms, because getting twins ready for school is like trying to manage a circus. It's just insane. Like, they're running in opposite directions and climbing things. And so I get them ready in their rooms behind a door where they can't run away. Shoes on, hair done, the whole nine. And then we come downstairs. And then the three of them, we would have breakfast together. My husband would get up at that time. Well, he was up already, but he would get ready. And then we would all kind of like get our backpacks and stuff together and ready to go. And then he would take my oldest, and I would take the little two. And that rhythm of doing things just really, really worked for us. And also, I started realizing, like, one of the pain points, like what didn't work last year, one of the pain points for us was getting from the breakfast table to the car, because 3-year-olds, they're like, something shiny, I'm going to go this way. And, one goes this way and one goes this way. Getting backpacks, like, they wanted to like fuss with the backpack, and they wanted to pack the backpack, and then whatever. So I decided I was going to get up before I woke Brady up, take their backpacks, pack them, get them ready to go, put them in the car, right? So backpacks are in the car. So we removed that pain point of the backpack situation. It's probably something completely different for you, but think through the pain point. A lot of times we just live with the pain points, like, whatever, they're 3 and backpacks are a pain, and so we're just going to deal with it. Well, think through it. Is there a way that you can actually tweak your routine a little and make it go away, or make it easier? I saw someone say routines are key with twins regardless of age. Yeah. So my theory, if you have twins or are expecting twins, there are 2 keys to twins, and it's routines and containment. So like, doors are good. Gates are great, because they go in every direction. That's a whole nother Facebook Live. Okay. So we're going to think through those things. So I would love to hear from you. I will keep an eye on the comment section that is very delayed. But tell me some things that worked for you last year. Are there things that worked for you last year that you were like, I'm glad that we had this routine in our family, or we had this, on Friday nights in our house, we have pizza usually. And it's one night off of my plate that I don't have to worry about dinner. The kids look forward to it, and they think it's super fun, because a lot of times we'll eat it on the floor and like have a party over it and like put a show on or a movie. That was a good routine for us. That really worked. Some things that didn't work for us last year, in the last 12 months, were that I was overcommitted. I tend to get to a really good place of being very simplified, and then get to a place where things get a little overwhelming because I've committed to too much. So That didn't work. And I'm looking at this next school year, especially with us moving. We're actually moving back to our hometown to raise our kids around more family. I'm looking at this new year with fresh eyes and saying, like, I need to make some more margin for some more good stuff. Okay, I love all of your ideas. Sunday night, talking through the upcoming week at dinner. Yes, same here. Cleaning up the kitchen fully at night and emptying the dishwasher before bed. Totally agree. If you've read my books, I talk about how my mom used to wipe the sink out. And as a kid, I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. Like, it's a sink, you get water in it. But every night she would like clean up the kitchen and she would take a towel and like wipe the sink out. And then every morning when she got up, like, it was just, the kitchen was clean and everything was clean. And I found myself doing it, and it just makes me feel better. It might be strange, but it makes me feel better, like things are ready to go in the morning. We have kind of a clean slate. One other thing that worked for us this last year is that when things get really wild in our house, which happens on the daily, multiple times a day, all the kids talking at one time, and my husband and I always laugh and say, like, we figured we would get one kid that's like really quiet and kind of shy, and we didn't. We got 3 kids who are like loud and proud and big personalities. And so when things get wild at our house, we have an Amazon Echo Alexa in our kitchen, and we tell Alexa to turn on the dance party playlist, and the kids just start dancing, and all the bad attitudes drop away. Whatever's going on, they drop, they put it down, and it just kind of resets everyone, so that then when we turn it off, we can say, okay, now dance party's over, it's time to get a bath, or now it's time to pick up. And so that was another good thing that worked for us. Goodness gracious, I see so many fun questions. Okay, I usually get the daily and switch to the weekly. Oh, okay. I see you guys are giving tips on which one to get. All right, keeping up with the comments while doing this is impossible, so I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, looking ahead, we're gonna go to the next page. Ideas for new routines and ideas for healthy habits. So taking into account what worked and what didn't work, what systems or routines would help you and help your life run smoother. One of the big tips that I mentioned on here a couple of times is my mom's laundry trick. So when my mom came to visit me, I think it was after Brady was born, the laundry situation was just crazy because of like burp cloths and baby clothes and just stuff everywhere. And my mom told me, take your clothes, whatever's dirty in the morning when you wake up, throw it in the washing machine, put it on speed cycle. It saves water, saves energy. Your clothes don't necessarily need to be washed for an hour, but put them in there on speed cycle. I have an LG top loader, LG top loader, and it goes 29 minutes. Put it on speed cycle, and then, go make breakfast or do what you got to do. Come back, throw it in the dryer, get it folded and put away. All in the same day. It has to be in the same day. Washed, dried, folded, put away. A lot of times it's a smaller load because you're going to do this every day, but that laundry trick will change your lives. I need an amen from those of you who have done it. It obviously, like, there are times where we get behind, but it makes such a difference when you keep it going and keep it going. We were doing mountains of laundry every Sunday, and it was just ridiculous. So that little tip really, really, really helps. So ideas for new routines. There's so many good comments and ideas from other people. I would suggest when this thing is over, going back through and just reading all of the comments and borrow some ideas, borrow some routines, some tips from everyone else. And then writing down ideas for new healthy habits. Those are different than routines. Routines are things like what we've been talking about, but healthy habits are 100% self-care for you and for your family. So how are you going to take care of yourself this year? We can talk about organization and planning your days and all of that until we're blue in the face. But if you're not taking care of yourself, it's pointless. I think a lot of times we think especially as women, we think if we just extend ourselves all the way to the edge, like without going over, if we just give and give and pour out and care for and love and just pour and pour and pour, if you're not replenishing that, you will crash and burn. And serious talk, this is coming from the girl who's done that. Crashed and burned many times. if you've read my books, I talk about it a lot in both of those, but we refer to the summer of 2013 around here as like a pronoun because like a capital letter situation, because it was just a bad summer. We had so many things going on, just deaths in the family. Our dog passed away. We had a brand new son. I was coming off of still, I think, dealing with some postpartum stuff from my son being born, and like stress of work and everything else on top of that, you know, managing a growing company, just pushed me all the way to the edge. I wasn't filling up my tank at all. And I had just some major medical problems that came up where my hair was falling out. I was having numb spots on my feet, ended up in an MRI, a brain MRI, because I thought there was something seriously wrong. And I had a doctor tell me, you know, you're fine, a neurologist, you're fine, but if you keep going on this track, you won't be. And he was so serious, and I took it so to heart. It snapped me out of the funk I was in and really made me start thinking about taking care of myself. And so I started exercising. I was very afraid of a gym. Like, I was a dancer for 15 years, so I'm not shy about being athletic at all, but a gym to me was something I just didn't know, and I felt like I was going to be judged when I went there. And I eventually joined a gym and started going, but I also had a friend. Hey, Miss Kristen Winchester, I saw you on here. I had a friend who would just come over and walk with me. This is a few years later, but she would come over and we would just go for walks, and I would just get moving, like setting that intention to implement those healthy habits into your life, to take care of your body, to take care of your spirit, your soul, like reading, eating healthy food, drinking water. I mean, I have for many years lived by the idea that coffee is actually a fair replacement for water, and it's not. And so setting those, I don't want to call them goals, because that to me is something a little bit different, but setting that intention and saying, I'm going to develop these habits this year. I'm going to, on purpose, think, I'm going to drink 4 glasses of water today, which I realize is not the recommended amount. But for some people, including myself, it's like better than nothing. So I'm going to think about it. If you think about it for long enough, eventually it becomes second nature. Eventually you walk into the gym and you're not the new kid. You're not afraid of all the equipment. You know what to do. And you've done it enough that you realize those endorphins are amazing. So write some ideas for new healthy habits. And by the way, make them realistic. Don't set yourself up for, you know, I'm going to drink 3 gallons of water every day. I don't even know if that's healthy, but I'm going to drink 3 gallons of water every day and I'm 12 hours of sleep. Be realistic. Also, caveat, if you are in the newborn phase, or you're pregnant, or you have a medical condition, like, you don't feel like this has to be your time to dive into all the new things. I've had a lot of women on these Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives ask me, you know, I just had a baby like 4 months ago, and I really want to like get back into that routine and do all these things, but like sometimes I just want to sit on the couch. And my answer to that is, turn on HGTV, like soak that time up. There is a season for everything in life. And there were seasons of my life that were designed for catching up on Joanna Gaines. Like, Fixer Upper is a perfectly good, healthy habit for you to put in there. If you need a brain break from like new mamahood, put that down as your healthy habit. One of my new healthy habits last year was to listen to more audiobooks, more fiction audiobooks, not like self-help or business books or any of that. Fiction, like stories that were not my life. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know I like a little bit of like the dark fiction. I love like mysteries and stuff like that. But I get totally into it, and it takes me out of my own life, and it just like is a nice little escape every night before I go to bed. I like to listen to it, or on road trips. So make your healthy habits your own. Okay, moving on to the next page. We're going to try to wrap this up by 11, so I'm going to try to go a little quicker. Okay, your weekly routines. So Monday through Sunday, what kind of routine can you implement here? Like, I see you, Jessa, laughing about Pretty Little Liars. Sorry. I just started watching Pretty Little Liars on Netflix, and I like can't stop. Netflix is a perfectly fine, healthy habit, by the way. If you just need a brain break, I can give you a list of Netflix shows to watch. That's all another Facebook Live. Okay. Simplified weekly routines. Writing down on this page, like, are there certain things you're going to do on Wednesdays? Clean the bathrooms on Wednesday nights, right? Or on Sundays, do all your grocery shopping for the week. We have the Sunday prep inside all of our planners, but are there things you can do every single Monday or every single Thursday? If you have some, I would love for you to share those with us. Like, is there something you do every single Monday or something you do every single Friday? My husband and I, every single Sunday, will try to connect somehow over calendars. Like, what do you have going on this week? Are you going to be home late? Is there any travel this week? Do the kids have soccer games or baseball games or whatever? Are there things that we need to put down to be cognizant of when meal planning or things like that? Okay. Next is our daily routines. So, and I will tell you, these morning routine and evening routine, it seems silly, but write them down. And if you want, like, take a Post-it and take your morning routine and put it on your refrigerator or put it on your bathroom mirror, but write down these things. And this is how you start. You have to think about it at first. Like, I'm going to take my vitamins. I'm going to put the moisturizer on my skin. I'm going to do whatever. Writing all these things down and making yourself do them over and over again a few times, eventually they become habit and you don't have to think about it anymore. And then you've developed healthy habits, right? So I take a multivitamin, right? Or a couple vitamins. I always forget to take them, and I have to take them at night. Otherwise, my stomach is angry. And so those are part of my evening routine that I've written down. Like, take your vitamins at night. Put your moisturizer on your skin so that you don't regret not doing that, in 10 years or 5 years. Write all those things down. Think through things like skincare. Think through things like picking up your house. Maybe one of yours in the evening, which is one of mine, walk around your house with a laundry basket. My whole family does this. We take just 5 or 10 minutes. My team is amazing. I have 49 missed text messages. I just saw. You guys will have to meet them all one day. They're great. I just totally lost my train of thought. Oh, laundry basket. So walk your house with a laundry basket and pick up anything that's out of place, right? Then take said basket, dump on floor. Have entire family come and separate into rooms. Like, this is all Brady's stuff that needs to go in his room. This is all mom's shoes that need to go in her room. That kind of thing. Separate by room and then put it away. It is so much faster than walking around your house and going, here's a pen, I'll go put it in the drawer. Or here's a cup, I'll go put it in the dishwasher. Go in basket, dump out of basket, put away. Add that to your evening routine. So write these things down. These are super, super helpful. And if you have morning routines or evening routines that you would like to share, we would love to hear them. Like, number them out and let us know what you do, because reading these things and having this kind of community where we can go and like borrow ideas from others is so, so, so helpful. Something someone else says might trigger something in your head to think like, oh, I didn't think about that. I should totally add that to my morning and evening routine. And don't make them super complicated either. Like, don't set yourself up to fail. If you're not doing any kind of, routine in the morning or in the evening right now, maybe put four things in your list, okay? Or 3. Put just a few and start there, and then maybe add to it as you have more time or as you get good at it. All right, next page is our simplicity challenge, and I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've ever had it in there, right? The simplicity challenge. Yeah. So I've been working on these planners now since middle of last year. So no, before that, for about 1.5 years. So I sometimes forget what year we're on. But the Simplicity Challenge is something that we actually started a couple years ago. It's 30, sometimes we do 31, sometimes we do 30, but here it's 30 simple steps that take under 15 minutes and exactly $0 to complete. They're just ideas that we've all come up with that will help you simplify your life if you do them all, right? Every single one will simplify your life just a tiny bit, make it a little bit easier, a little more streamlined, and when you add them all together, it's a big difference. So it's a challenge for you to go through this list and do all of them. You don't have to do them all at one time. Maybe you do one a week or one a day, or maybe you sit down and you just rock it out, right? Some of these things on here are like, clean out your medicine cabinet, trash anything expired. You will be surprised when you pull out that basket, like I was, about all the expired things in there. Dump your purse out. Dump out your purse and make a little bag of essentials. You know, take the Advil from the medicine cabinet, put some in your little bag. Clean your purse out, get it all nice and like prepared and ready to go. And then things like put your number on the do not call list. Jury's still out on whether or not that works, but you can do it. It has helped me a little bit, I think. One of the things that's not on here that I did last year was our pharmacy calls me like all the time. With all my kids have eczema and asthma and all these things, and they call me like every day to say something's been refilled when I don't need it to be refilled, or something's ready to be picked up when it's not. Anyway, I was just getting all these phone calls. So I finally, I called and I was like, can I change like how many times I get phone calls? Because I pick them up on time, like we're good, we just don't need all the phone calls. And they were so kind, and they're like, yeah, we'll just fix it for you. And so they fixed it in their system, and I don't get any more phone calls, and all the things still get refilled and still get picked up, but the constant phone calls are gone. So again, one of those pain points that we usually just kind of let fly and they just bug us, when if we just take some time and think through them, we realize there's ways we can actually make changes. And sometimes it's just a phone call or a little tweak. All right, on the next page, this is your yearly bucket list. So you're gonna walk through this and write down some things that if you were sitting here a year from now, what do you want to say, I'm glad I did that about, right? Like, are there certain things that you want to look back and say, I'm really glad that like we had a family staycation. I'm really glad we did that picnic in the park, you know, once this year. I'm really glad that we drove around at Christmas time to see the Christmas lights. Write those things down, and then don't check them off until you've put them on a day in your planner. So the Christmas light example, go in and find a day in December. Maybe it's a random weeknight that you know you won't have other commitments, and write it down, schedule it, just like you would schedule a dentist appointment. Speaking of, that's actually a good idea. Go in, and any like yearly appointments you need to schedule, a lot of doctor's offices will schedule pretty far in advance. So schedule those, get those on your calendar. My friend Dusty, who's behind the computer over there, she told me, what do you do? Is it July and January? June and January.
It's summer and winter break.
Summer and winter break. So Dusty told me, like, schedule your kids' dentist appointments and any other like annual appointments they need to do or you need to do for summer and winter break, so that you just always know, like, when those breaks come around, it's time to like go to the dentist or get the things done. Yeah, and then you don't have to miss school. Dermatologist or whatever. My fair-skinned oldest, we go to the dermatologist often, so I schedule all his stuff then too. Okay, now we've gone through the prep work side of things, right? So take time to actually fill out those pages. Don't just dive into your planner and start putting dates on pages. Take a look at your life and figure out if there are things you can say no to. If there are things on your calendar that you're overcommitted to. If there's clutter on your pages in your calendar, clutter in your home, clutter in your heart, find ways where we can, you know, clear some of that clutter. And shameless plug, but I've written 2 books on this. The first one is Grace Not Perfection. Wait, sorry. That pink book. Grace Not Perfection is very story-based. It's a lot of my stories and my struggle with trying to have it all together and do all the things, and just ways that we've implemented some good stuff in our lives, and I've learned a lot of lessons along the way. A Simplified Life, which is this blue book right here, is very, very, very tactical. They're both on end caps at Target right now, if you're ever in Target. A Simplified Life is 10 key areas of life and how we can make them so much easier. So we talk about things like technology, meal planning, scheduling, motherhood. That was a hard chapter to write. Motherhood, all kinds of different areas of life. Your home, like how can you simplify your home and make it happier and a place where you feel calm and not like stressed out with all you have to do and put away. But lots and lots and lots of ideas in there. And both books have like worksheet style pages where you can work through, you know, some ideas and some tips and things like that as well. Okay, so next, what we're going to do, and this could take a long time for some people or a short amount of time for some people, but you're going to go in and put dates in your planner. Whether you're using the daily or the weekly, I recommend putting dates on monthly spreads first. So go in and put important dates like birthdays, anniversaries, any kind of date like that, put it on your monthly calendar. While you're doing this, I'll post the link in here, unless somebody from my team can post a link to the Perpetual calendar printable. Thanks, Hannah. Hannah's gonna post it here. We have a free printable and it's a Perpetual calendar. This is so helpful when you're using a paper planner. Write down important birthdays, important anniversaries and dates and things like that don't change year to year. Write them on your Perpetual calendar, fold it in half, put it in your front pocket of your planner, and then every year you have it where you can refer back to it and not have to like reinvent the wheel in your head. Also, when you're filling out that Perpetual calendar, pick up the phone and call your sister or your brother-in-law or whomever and make sure you know all your nieces and nephews' birthdays. It is on my to-do list. I think I saw my mother-in-law watching on here. I'm gonna need everybody's birthday because I always forget. And I need that on my Perpetual calendar so that, you know, all of my nieces and nephews' birthdays, all of our family members' birthdays, important anniversaries and things like that are in one place. So button that up on the Perpetual calendar, put it on your monthly spreads. On the monthly spread, I keep an overarching view of important days. I don't keep like my day-to-day stuff there. So overarching view at a glance, if you just need to see like, are we out of town that day or whatever, that's what goes on the monthly spread. And then also on the daily pages, go through and write them there as well. I know some of you are sad we took the quotes off the pages, but trust me, it is awesome to have this headline space right here. So this is the daily edition. This is a Wednesday. Go in on your daily pages and write in, like if this is somebody's birthday, you put it up here. This headline space up here, sorry, it's so bright. This headline space up here is where your all day event goes, right? Like it doesn't have a specific time. You just put it up here if it's like a birthday or something like that. Okay, so put the dates in, get them all on the monthly spread and then all on the daily or weekly spreads. And then go in on any particular ones and put some reminders. So put reminders like we talked about mom's birthday. If mom's birthday is on July 1st, 2 weeks before, put, you know, a little task in the to-do section. Go look at, you know, go look for birthday card or birthday gift. You know, put reminders, anniversaries, don't forget, things like that. And then also put reminders like I have a reminder that you're gonna laugh at this. My Christmas tree broke last year. The whole thing like fell apart and died. It was just a bad situation. And I wrote down in my planner in July to go and buy a Christmas tree because it is completely off season. They're cheaper right now. And so I am going to buy a Christmas tree this month so that I can save some money on it and it's ready to go in December. So like make some of those reminders as well. All right. Okay, we covered all the dates. Okay, I think I've covered everything as far as like how to set up your planner. I'm pushing the time a little bit, so I'm gonna go quickly through some tips we got from other people, and then I will get Taylor to send me questions. Taylor, you can send those questions whenever you're ready, or if you guys, sorry, I gotta get to my mouth. Oof. If you guys have any additional questions, go ahead and put them in here, and then Taylor's gonna grab them and then send them my way. Okay, so we did a poll, a couple of polls on Instagram to get some tips from all different kinds of women in all different seasons of life, doing all kinds of different things on how they use their Simplified planner. Like, are there things that I'm not even thinking of because I'm not in your particular season of life or whatever, that it would be really helpful to other people? So we have a lot. I'm gonna go fast, okay? The first group, and we just picked 4 random questions to ask. There's a zillion seasons of life outside of this and a zillion different scenarios, but we just picked 4. College student, empty nester, a mama whose babies have left the nest and are out in the world, a working mom, any woman who works outside the house, and then fitness. So trying to manage like health and wellness and stuff inside your planner. So college students, thank you for all of your tips. I think we got the most on this particular one. We have lots of college students who use the Simplified planner. And again, the pages are basic and simple enough. In the daily, like I said, we have this light is so bright, sorry. We have your schedule on one side, your to-do list on another side, and then notes across the bottom. We've opened this note space up so it's one big place where you can meal plan or write whatever you want down there. But you can make it work for you. College students, I use a different color coding dot for each class and highlight due dates or exams. So we have color coding dot stickers you can use in our shop. We also have our Pilot Precise V5 Happy Stripe pens, so you can use a different color for every class. I also heard someone say they use a red pen for exams and a purple pen for assignments. I thought that was really cool. One of the big overarching tips we got from I think it was like hundreds of people, said to take your syllabi at the beginning of the semester and write down all the important dates. Write down all the term papers, all the exam dates, all the due dates, get them all on your calendar. Also write down the school, what days you have off and that kind of thing. Write add drop, make sure you have those things down. And then give yourself some reminders. Like if you have a paper due at the end of the semester, right, whenever it is that you want to get that done. I was the person that like week 1 wanted to get my term paper done so I didn't have to think about it. Whenever you're going to do it, write yourself a reminder so that you can not forget, okay? All right, use washi tape for long breaks, highlighters for different classes. We love the Pilot Friction highlighters. We're going to do a big pen test on launch week, and so I'll show you all of these, but the Friction highlighters are erasable and they're also very pastel, so they're super cute. What else? Picking one color for school, another for personal to keep a healthy balance. Love that. On Sundays, I put any assignments due that week in the header of the due date. Smart. I put a Post-it note on the weekend page with my assignment for the next week. Those are all really good. Oh, I skipped a whole nother thing. We also got some tips from stay-at-home mamas. So mamas who are, I always laugh about that phrase because like you're a stay-at-home mom, you are working at home. Okay, color coding dots for each family member. Love that. I work from home, and we don't have, like my kids go to school, but we don't have childcare outside of that. So I am doing like the drop off, the pickup, the afternoons, the whole thing. I tend to do like a color coding dot for personal, like family stuff, and a color coding dot for work stuff. Specific times get highlighted, flexible timing stays non-highlighted, picking one day to plan out the whole week, meals, activities, cleaning, etc. I would also add my mom was a teacher for 40 years and my dad worked as well, and I have a little brother, and my mom would plan the whole month. So Nana is like the original here. Like she would plan a month at a time. I am not that skilled yet to plan a full month. She would like meal plan a full month at a time. True story. And she would tape it on her refrigerator. Okay, starting off each morning, writing down my to-dos for the day as part of my morning routine. I do the same thing. Designating certain days for chores, also do the same thing. And then use it as a brain dump with forever to-do lists. Totally agree. I use a program called Asana with our team because we're all remote, and that is online. I also use iCal. And so I do a whole hybrid thing with my iCal and my planner. I use the daily edition. Asana keeps track of my like forever and ever to-do list that's like pages long. And I transfer those to-dos in on Sundays onto my planner. And then with iCal, because my team's remote, we keep all of our stuff in iCal. I will transfer everything over on Sundays into my planner as well. And from that point, I'm working out of my planner. So on Sundays, everything is in mine, okay? Okay, empty nesters, some tips. Attach a seasonal cleaning checklist in the back. Ooh, I like that one a lot. Saw somebody mention Fly Lady. She's really good. My mom was talking about her the other day. She has really cool like cleaning routines and tips and stuff like that. In the weekly planner, using the left column for activities and the right column for chores. So in the weekly, and these tips are good for anybody. In the weekly, you have 2 columns. So you have, this is for your schedule, this is for your to-do list, but you can do whatever you want with it, right? So this person said in the weekly, use the left column for activities and the right column for chores. That's awesome. Okay, writing in family anniversary dates, work trips, project deadlines, And then someone also said, I bring it along in the passenger seat to refer to and edit on daily outings. That's great. Okay, ladies who are working outside the home or at home, working from home, someone who homeschools, using a different color for each family member, adding both parents' schedules and who will be watching kids when. At the beginning of school, going through and writing down all the school events, I can almost guarantee you that if you go and look up your school district's school year calendar, it's out now. I think our district's been out for a long time. You can get those dates now and go ahead and put them in your planner as you are moving into your Simplified planner. Okay, using the notes section to track calls, any notes from work and things like that. This is one of my favorite tips we got. I block off weekends and carve time off throughout the year before it starts. That is so smart. Carving off time now. That's like the bucket list stuff. Go in now and say, like, this is what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to make sure, like, hey, for instance, me and some of my girlfriends here in Tampa, we're moving. We decided a couple days ago, like, girls' weekend next summer. We picked a weekend. It's on the calendar. You hear me? Okay, so there's that. Now, fitness and health. Okay, so someone said trying to cut time off of a 5K, and I use the calendar view so I can see all my times at a glance. So that's the monthly calendar. She keeps track of all of her running times. I'm like the worst runner ever, but I see how that could be helpful. I use the notes section to track my water intake. I highlight each workout after I complete them to make it stand out on my planner. It feels very rewarding. On the monthly calendar, I like to put color coding stickers on the day that I worked out so that when you look back at it, you can feel pretty proud about what you did. Writing down my weight on Monday mornings along with an encouraging note. That's awesome. I write my steps each day on the monthly page and highlight if I met my goal or not. These are awesome. These are great tips. And I use stickers to track my run days. So just a bunch of ideas from lots of different women doing lots of different things. Hopefully those are encouraging and inspiring to you as you guys dive into yours. All right, now we're ready for Q&A. We might run a little bit over 11. Taylor, I saw your message, so I'm gonna pop in here. Okay, what is the best way to use the icon stickers? We have a ton of different sticker packs, and you can use them however you want. So I think with the icon stickers, the way that I've seen them, I use the color coding stickers the most, a little bit more than the icon stickers, but the icon stickers I have seen used in a super cute way, especially on the monthly pages where you go in and you put, like, if it's someone's birthday, little birthday hat icon or different things like that. Okay. Stickers, by the way, stickers are fun. And it's taken me a little while to warm up to stickers, if we're being totally honest, because I tend to be just super basic about my planner and always in a hurry. So I just kind of get my planner messy. But I've started to learn, especially over the last year, how great it is to have the color coding, especially. I really like the color coding. And I also like, it's a little more fun when you use stickers to go in and plan things in advance. So sitting down, once a week or once a month, or even just now, and going in and putting those things, it just makes your planner that much more happy. Okay, when do you update your planner during the week with things that are constantly being added? At night or in the morning? Honestly, like all day long. On Sundays is when I go in and I transfer everything from iCal into my planner, and then from Asana, my to-do list, into my planner. And so from that point, I'm just working in it. So it just, I don't know, it's kind of an everyday, all the time thing. And that's the thing about your planner. You have to get into a routine of using it. I've heard people say before, like, and I have done it in the past, like, you buy a fancy planner and it sits on your shelf because you're A, afraid to mess it up, and B, you haven't made it part of your life. Like, it's not going to scream at you from the shelf and say, like, hey, come pick me up and make me work for you. You have to be intentional about making it part of your day. So for me, I use it daily, leave it on my desk, and every morning I sit down and that's where I start, right? After the kids are gone to school, and I don't try to do it when they're running around because it just gets crazy and I can't think. But on Sundays, I also have a routine of sitting down and putting everything in it. So create those routines with your planner. You're gonna have to think about it at first. After a while, it will become second nature. Will the bundles be available for the fall launch? More than likely, yes. We had some trouble with the bundles in the spring because even though it might not seem like it on the front end, on the back end, they're really complicated because there's like 1,000 different scenarios the way we had the bundle set up. So we are working with our amazing web team to get that going, and we've been working on it a long time, and it's looking promising. So you may have a bundle option to buy your planner and accessories and things on September 5th. Stay tuned. Okay, what is your number one tip for using the Simplified planner with a newborn, or just a favorite tip for simplifying life with a newborn? Okay, I have a couple tips for that. So I had a little basket, just some random basket that I would kind of take around with me. It had a little handle. I would take it around with me, like to my bedside table or into the living room or wherever we were with the babies or baby, and keep like diapers and nail clippers and the baby wipes and all the things you need like in this little basket so that you weren't constantly looking for things and you have like a little home base. The other tip I have for surviving life with a newborn or two newborns or more is to give yourself just heaping loads of grace. You are in a very new, challenging, awesome, amazing, difficult, wonderful time, and give yourself all the grace in the world. Sleep, rest, watch Fixer Upper. Don't feel like this is your time to reinvent your life. Like, just take the pressure off, honestly. And then sleep train. That's it. Okay. Do you color code for each family member or for each category of tasks? I color code either with the color coding dots or with my Pilot pens. And I will typically color code like family is one thing and work stuff is another color. I tend to subscribe to the idea that like we make most of life more complicated than it needs to be. I think that's why I'm in this job, because like everything I ever did before this, I was like, why are we doing it this way? It just feels more complicated than it needs to be. So I always look at things and think like, do we need to overcomplicate this? Like, if it works for you to color code every single member of your family, that's awesome. I mean, I see people on Instagram all day long that are like scrapbooking their planners and they love it and it works for them. It doesn't work for me. I love that they do that and it's inspiring to me and it makes me want to be more creative with my planner, but it's just not how I think. So you got to do you and don't overcomplicate it. Just find something that works for you and be done with it. Maybe it's that you get your favorite black pen and you write your things in your planner, and that's how you start until it becomes a habit to use it, and then you start getting fancy with it, right? Don't put a whole bunch of pressure on yourself. Okay. How do you get your husband to follow routines? Oh, how long do you have? So my husband and I are very different. I am obviously like my mom's child. Like she and I think a lot alike. I was raised this way with lots of like structure and routine, and I like that. To me, like it feels safe. I feel like it makes my kids feel safe and like they know what's coming next. And obviously life doesn't always work that way, so we talk through that. But my husband's very like fly by the seat of his pants, like he's good, whatever. So it's taken we've been married 10 years almost, and it's taken a long time for us to like merge our styles of doing things, but I've become a ton more flexible and he's become a lot more structured. So we've really like found a good middle ground, and I see like how good it feels to just like let the house go sometimes. And he sees how good it feels to like pick up at night. So it just takes time. I also don't push my ideas of how we should do things on him too much because I like to pick my battles. So, but he's amazing and he's come a long way since we first got married. How do you use the notes column in the monthly calendar? So it depends. Sometimes I use the notes column for like if I have certain like to-dos I want to get done during that month. Sometimes like in the month of December, I'll go in or even November, I'll go in and write like a holiday bucket list. So things I want our family to do that holiday season, just a couple, so I can schedule them before like the office Christmas parties get scheduled and things like that. Scheduling like time to go see the Christmas lights or time to go visit Santa at the mall or whatever. I'll put those kinds of things on the monthly calendar. Okay. Can you address how to do tasks and whole day reminders for the weekly planners? tasks and whole day reminders for the weekly planners. So yes, the weekly planner also has headline space next to each day. Okay. So sorry, my camera's going to try to focus here. So this, well, no, this way. This is headline space for this day, right here, whoop, for this day, and so on. Does that make sense? So if it's somebody's birthday or whatever, you can put in that space, or you can just put it right under the date if it's an all-day thing. And then if it is tasks, I would just put your tasks on whatever day in the little spot next to the little check mark. Okay, what is the use of the stretchy band? Well, I think I have one, don't I? You guys have one over there? Stretchy bands?
Yes.
I just saw one, but I don't remember it. So stretchy bands are made to just keep your planner closed. So they are silicone bands. We have two different sets. They're sized for the weekly or the daily, so make sure you get the right one. Oh, thank you. They have a little pineapple. I don't know if you can see it. It's upside down. There's a pineapple on it. And you just slip them right over your planner. This is a weekly one, and it just keeps it closed. So like if you're throwing this in your bag and you're running out the door, you don't want the pages to get bent up or whatever. If it opens in your purse, you put it around it. True story, we used to make our planners with elastic bands already attached and had so much trouble with them breaking that finally we just decided, forget it. We're just gonna make these awesome silicone bands, and they're great. They're also really fun as headbands if you're 3.5 years old. Okay. All right. Do we have any more questions? I think that we got those. I saw someone ask me which cover I am using. Can I admit that I still am trying to decide? So I'm obsessed with this one, this pineapple. Jessa Bray painted this. She's on our team and amazing. And I love it so much. And I also really love this tile a lot. And I'm still trying to decide. I think I might end up going with this particular tile as of right this very minute, but I might change my mind. But I'm going to use a daily. I'm going to use a daily for sure because I need all the space. And I also like the space if I'm like taking notes and things like that. I saw someone ask, why is it just the pineapple planner left in the store? So I kind of addressed this at the beginning of things, but we're sold out of all the other editions. They go fast. And we try our best not to overorder or underproduce so that we're able to get a planner into the hands of every single person that wants one and also not be left with a ton of them because we run a debt-free company. And that makes it hard. That means that we're not going to debt to produce these. We're using the cash on hand. And so it's also meant that we had to grow slower. So we, in the past, have sold out even faster than we have now this time because we just produce as much as we can. So yeah, I hope that explains things a little bit. Jessa, you're so funny. Okay, that's it. Guys, this is so fun, and I only went 5 minutes overboard. I have so loved doing this Facebook Live. This in particular is so important to me because this is why we make the Simplified Planner. I made it in 2011 because I was a brand new mama with a new baby on my hip and a job. And I was a full-time graphic designer doing stationery and weddings and branding and anything I get my hands on. And I was so overwhelmed, just so overwhelmed. I wanted to do everything perfectly. And every girl I knew had like perfect hair and 6-inch heels and like dinner on the table and just was better at it than I was. And I didn't understand why everyone in the world had it together and didn't stress about anything. And so I decided I needed a tool to help, and every other planner I could find had just too much. And I needed something that just gave me a lot of space and let me take care of my schedule, my to-do list, and what we were going to eat that night. And so here we are. But the Simplified Planner is not going to change your life if you don't set out with the intention to really make some changes. If things are going well, take note of what's going well so that when the next random things comes at you, you can fall back on that routine and that structure. If things aren't going well, take a look at some of these tips and some of the advice given in the comments here. There's been a lot of them, and I can't wait to go back and and read through them all as well, just for my own purposes. But take now as a time to make a change, a fresh start. That's the beauty of it, you know, new mercies every morning, right? So thank you guys so much for your love and support. This is my last Facebook Live from this office, which makes me feel sort of emotional because our company grew a lot while we've been in this little space. My next office is going to be much smaller than this office because it'll just be me in it. But we are rebuilding this built-in at our new house. I even took my brass lights down to take them with me because they've been discontinued and replace them. So that won't be till October. So the Facebook Lives we do for the fall launch are going to be done for my little beach condo that we're renting while our house is being finished up. So thank you guys so much. If you have additional questions, please post them here and we will try to come back in and answer them ASAP. If you are interested in an academic year Simplified planner, hop on it because they're going to be sold out soon. Okay. Next launch for calendar year editions is September 5th at 10 a.m. Eastern time. All right. Bye guys.